Madam Speaker. Secondly, Madam Speaker, we have vetted the members. Some of them are distinguished, outstanding members, Madam Speaker, and I agree with the committee that some of them merit to be cabinet ministers, and they have qualified and passed the standards that we were looking for as a committee. But a few of them, Madam Speaker, as we have noted in our minority report, are substandard, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when you are talking about the cabinet of the Republic of Kenya, and you want to have a cabinet minister seated there who has a live case in court, not a capital offense, Madam Speaker, of murder, Madam Speaker, how do you want this House to approve that, Madam Speaker, unless we have lost our head, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, it is very clear. It is very important for the image of this country, Madam Speaker, for that nominee to step aside, go and clear her cases in court. Once she has finished.
What is your point of order, Honorable GK of Ndia?
Who is GK?
Clerk, please give Honorable George Karaoke the microphone.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Junet, I am GK. Government, yes. And Honorable Speaker, my point of order is in regard to something he has said, that Atokana has never been a cabinet secretary in this country. We know very well we had Honorable Munez, who was a cabinet secretary. So you are misleading the House. Please, that's my point of order, Madam Speaker. Withdraw.
Honorable Junet.
I know. Madam Speaker, I agree with the Honorable GK, the government of Kenya, that he thinks this 21 or 24 we are passing now has a Turkana in the. There is no Turkana in this list that we are passing as a cabinet minister, Madam Speaker. The one you are talking about was in the previous cabinet, Mr. Honorable Member. Now we are discussing new nominees, new appointment, Madam Speaker, under the new government of Kenya, under the leadership of President William Ruto, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I wanted to say that, Madam Speaker, the nominee for public service and gender, Madam Speaker, it is imperative, Madam Speaker, let us not trivialize the matter, because what the standards we are going to set in this parliament today, it is what is going to be used in the future, Madam Speaker. If we approve a nominee today who has a case in court, who has a live case in court, Madam Speaker, of murder case, a capital offense, Madam Speaker, tomorrow anybody can be brought to this House with any kind of cases, Madam Speaker, and pass, because you will have set the standard that one time the Parliament of the Republic of Kenya passed a nominee with a murder case, Madam Speaker. And I'm not judging anyone. We cannot say she's guilty of the offense or she's not guilty of the offense. That is the courts to decide, not us, Madam Speaker. We need to let the court do their work, let the court judge her, acquit her, or convict her, Madam Speaker. Then from there, we can make a decision as a House, Madam Speaker, whether that person is fit to hold the office of a cabinet secretary, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, look at the world democracy, Madam Speaker. Look at developed countries, Madam Speaker. Look at the democracies that we borrow from, Madam Speaker. Leave alone being charged in court, Madam Speaker. When even allegation is put against you, whether they are true or false, until you clear your name, until you are told to step aside. Madam Speaker, public officers who are in office, governors who have been charged in court were barred from their offices, Madam Speaker. Public officers who were taken to court were all told to leave office, Madam Speaker. What is the moral authority we have as a House to pass today in the floor of this House, Madam Speaker, a cabinet secretary who has a case in court, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, the other nominee that was rejected unanimously by the committee is Honorable Madam Malonza. Madam Speaker, I don't want to speak like the way my colleague spoke here, whether she's a female, whether no. We were not looking at gender. Madam Speaker, we were looking at the suitability and the competence of that individual to hold that high office of a cabinet secretary, Madam Speaker. And if